we're talking about all the things about fatherhood. The best bit for me has got to be in the morning. The first time in the morning, the baby comes out, and in my case with Harry, he comes out of his little Moses basket into the bed, and he's just so smiley. Just doesn't stop smiling. Obviously, when he's looking at me. We have little competitions who's smiling at the most, and it's just an incredible. And you can't describe it to any friends that haven't got kids. They don't get it. It's like, oh yeah, but it's 8 o'clock in the morning. It's like, it doesn't matter.
But you've also got that. You can't describe it. That's, you hit the nail on the head. Unless you've done it, you can't describe it. It's impossible.
Is it also the fact that they're sort of going back to almost back to that womb because they kind of crave that warmth you're giving them? So I remember, Tamara taking up about this room on my chest and just being able to be perched there, and I could lay there for hours with her just like that, and it felt good. There was like I almost felt like I was pregnant. I know it might sound a little bit weird, but I just was so happy with her being there because I was gaining some warmth from her, and she was gaining this, and that was our connect. I think that's when we made our kind of ultimate connection. Funny enough, first thing in the morning as well.
It's funny. I don't think I became a real dad until he was about 2. I didn't really think of myself as a proper father. Not just because I wasn't there a lot of the time, not just because Ali was breastfeeding, but because I felt my role was limited. I felt that Ali was the nurturer, the provider. There's no lack of love, and I did everything I could, and I was totally besotted with him. But I didn't really feel like a proper dad until he was slightly older. I could take more, have more influence, interact with him, have more influence on how he was developing, sort of thing. And people say, what's the best thing about being a dad? You can't begin to describe it. There's so many moments. We just love each other's company because he's such a good child. He's such a brilliant. He's really good company. I just miss him when he's not there, and I just look forward to the days like we just have a weekend in Norfolk, just the 3 of us. Because I love the rest of my family, of course I do. I love my parents, of course, but just those times when there's just 3 of us in a little hotel room or cottage together, just mucking about, like it's just fantastic. There's no feeling like it. And I've done all sorts of stuff in my life. I've had all sorts of happy experiences, and I'm lucky. I haven't had a lot of pain in my life, but just the thought of him not being there is just I can't. The only way you can describe how good it is by thinking of how awful it would be if he wasn't there. So I just miss him every time. Even now, when I
talked about the sort of the happiest things. I mean, bizarrely for me, and I don't know what it is, but what's happened since I've sort of turned 40. But actually, the happiest thing is almost when I'm crying with them, because actually I now cannot. It took me years. For the first couple of years they were at school, I couldn't go into a morning assembly, a sports day, and I'd be standing there behind my cameras and just covering myself with the tears. And actually, it got to a stage where it didn't matter whose kid it was. As soon as you get on, I was just hopeless.
My little boy sings in a choir. When he first joined,
that must be just it.
When he first joined, his parent, it was a right rough South London, really lovely bloke. He said to me, "You'll cry when I said, "I won't." He said, "You will." And of course, he just looked over to me. He went, "Oh."
It's pathetic, isn't it? But you can't.
It's interesting because I wonder, because Ed's an only child, and I just wonder, because we talk about having other children on and off. Ed wasn't particularly planned, but I'm intrigued by that thing of I can't imagine being able to share that love. I can't imagine having a second child. And of course, obviously you do.
I was really worried about that before Harry was born.
Really?
Yeah, we're talking like 6 months ago, and I was worried because the love I got for Kirsty was so immense, and seeing her in school plays and things like that. And I was worried about that. And then when Harry was born, I don't know why. It's just normal.
It's absolutely not. It's a different. They say to you, it's not the same sort of love. You have a different. I would say anyway. For my 3 girls, I have a different sort of love. I love them all as much, but it's a very different sort of. And we went to the school assembly with the when she was just 1, Verity, and she was sort of sitting on my knee, and the headmaster had heard that it was her birthday, and we were sitting there, I was all in control and everything, no problem. And the headmaster said, and we've got a birthday as well, Verity as well, and that was.
I get really. Times I get most emotional, and I am an emotional parent. I do get sentimental, but it's when you see them trying really hard to do something.
When they look over to you, because they know, on the stage, and I'm really trying for you, Dad, or I'm really trying for you, Mum. Go,
it's great, but but even if he's struggling with a different word, if he's trying to read something and he's struggling with a word, just to watch him concentrate, and you just feel
that's why this is really good to be able for men to be able to sit down, and I hope for women watching this programme that dads do feel like this, that men do have a huge amount of emotion. And I don't think people believe that. And anyone that dads do want, or men do want children, because I don't think sometimes men have a kid. Oh, my missus wants a kid. Yeah, I'll give it whatever. It's not. I mean, we are very emotional. We're very proud of, certain moments during the stages of.
I'll tell you the other thing as well. I'm proud of me. I've grown up with a group. There's like 5 or 6 of us. We've all grown up together, and I get so proud of them. We're all parents now. I get so proud of them. One of them, it took years to have the baby, and we all shared their emotional torment because we thought they couldn't have kids. And I remember them as teenagers. I remember them growing up, and to think of them then being parents, you think, no, they just haven't got it in them. But I look at them now, maturing as men and as adults, and they're all much nicer men because they've had kids. And I look at them with their kids. I feel proud of them because the way the children have changed their life, the way they've adapted and taken it on board, and the way, you know, and one of them in particular who's got 3 girls. You'd think 10 years ago, you'd think, for God's sake, don't let him breed. I mean, it's just, it shouldn't be allowed. And it's just to watch them, it's just astonishing. Just to watch them as a family, you just puts a smile on your face. You think the world's quite a decent place with them in it. You know,
well, we were talking earlier. I mean, my daughter started her secondary school last Monday, so she was dressed in a totally new uniform, and she's like,
it's another
exactly, well, it is, and she's like 5'4", and I've looked at her and she's developing and going through puberty and everything, and I just looked, and I suddenly just. The first day she came back and she was still immaculately dressed, and I just looked at her and I was just so proud, so proud that, and I've got just what you just said. I was proud of myself. For the first time, I suddenly looked. I have, and I said it to myself probably. I have an 11-year-old daughter. I couldn't believe it. How could I have? I think I emailed my aunt. I have an 11-year-old daughter. I couldn't believe it. It's a major achievement, and she's like 5'4", and she's practically a woman. And I'm going to have to go shotgun with her soon because I tell you, she's going to be fighting them off. And I was just elated. She's beautiful, and she's really turned into a woman. And she's.
I'm worried about that whole boyfriend thing. I'm starting to worry about that already.
A friend of mine, a comedian friend of mine, his daughter's 14, and she's only just realised that friends would come around, like new boyfriends, and they would never stay more than 5 minutes. And she's only just found out it's because when they came in, the first thing he would do is just do that to them. Oh, I'm going now then. No, see you later, sir. Bye. Because it's terrifying. Of course it is. That's a very emotional and traumatic area, I should think, for all parents of daughters.
I think it's because we know what we're like as men.
Well, absolutely.
And we know what could be. And kind of. But I am of the opinion that I am going to sort of just kind of educate her in a way that I know that if you kind of shield them from it, it's the worst thing. So I'm going to say, look, this is what you can expect. You've got to make up your own mind.
Well, we're pressure points, the points of pain for the that sort of stuff.
But we're such...
and if that fails, it's going to be the old lock and key. You know, you're going out, I'll drop you to school, bring you back. When you're 35, you can leave. And the other thing is, I make sure she does taekwondo. And I really do. I'm going to make sure she keeps up on her. She wants to keep up with me.
But we're such hypocrites, dads, as well, because I know fathers of boys who say, oh yeah, he's going to be a lad. But if you last thing you do is want your daughter to behave like that, you know.
Well, guys, I think we should raise the glasses to ourselves for this one because we've done well.
Enjoy that. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Cheers.